So for page 2, the first question asks to us to explain how to use the graph, the table, or the equation to answer part A. So what we know then is if we read the read the question for part A, well, question A, part 4, it says, do the y values increase, decrease, or stay the same as the x values increase? Well, yesterday in our notes, here's what we wrote. We wrote that if the graph is upward, or the graph goes upward, it's an increase. If the graph goes downward, it's a decrease. And if the graph is horizontal, we said that that means that it stays the same. So we have to look at the direction of the graph. So I'm going to make that as a side note. The direction of the graph. Now, at the table, if the x values are ascending, then we observe the pattern. So all we had to do was actually just look at the numbers and say, hey, they keep ascending, descending, or they stay the same. As far as the equation goes, what we saw was we looked at the rate of change. The rate of change is the coefficient. And so we said, hey, if the coefficient is positive, that produces an increase. If the coefficient is negative, that means the y values decrease. If the coefficient is 0, that means that the y values stay the same. Okay, changing ideas. Which graph from question A, part 3, can be traced to locate the point 2, 4? So let's go back here. 2, 4, there's 1, 2, up to 4, that's right here. That was the red line, that was the second line I graphed, and that red line was the equation for plan 2. So it was plan 2, which was y equals negative x plus 6. How do the coordinates 2, 4 relate to the equation of the line? Well, what they do is these coordinates make the equation true. How do they relate in the table of data? These coordinates are side by side in the table. That's how we found them. So write 2 questions we can answer by locating this point. Well, remember, the 2 things that we were talking about are y is dollars and x is kilometers. So we can start by going, how many dollars are earned by walking 2 kilometers? But then we could also ask the question, how many kilometers must be walked to earn $4? So D is an interesting question. It's kind of one of those backward questions. It says which equation has a graph that you can trace the value of x that makes 8 equals 5x minus 3 a true statement. So we have to think about that. There's only one equation that has these two pieces. And so the equation that we want is y equals 5x minus 3, which is plan 1. So how does finding the value of x in 8 equals 5x minus 3 help you to find the coordinates for the point on the line of the equation? So if we solve for x, what we do, solving for x finds the missing coordinate. Given y equals 8. So essentially, just to simplify this, it solves this. And I'm going to stop this video here, and as that ends page 2.